Now to a fire now to an early morning house fire in the Denmark area. It happened at a home on Crines Road in the town of Franklin. Officials tell Action 2 News flames were coming from the front door and smoke was throughout the house when they got there. No one was hurt in the fire. Officials say the house was a considerable damage.
When we arrived on scene, there were flames coming through the front door and in various parts of the bottom floor of the residence. All the residents were out. Nobody was injured. We were able to get the fire knocked down in about 20 minutes.
Now, this time of year, firefighters also remind people to check your fireplaces and make sure your smoke alarms are working.